hot. Oh. It's a little too hot. Hi. Hello and welcome to Out of the Question. This is a family-friendly video podcast series where I will be asking you, the viewers, questions. How is this series going to work? I ask a question, I give an example of an answer, you answer, I talk about your answer in the next week's episode before asking a new question. You can comment in the comment section or send your answer to ootqcontact@gmail.com. The reason I added the emails because I know some people would not want their answers to be viewable by other people or to be commented on by other people. So that option is there, but if you could, please comment, because I really want this to be a community-based show in the end, where people will post what their answers are, and other people can be like, oh hey, that was my answer, but I might have said this instead. Or another thing that they could do is like, oh, that's funny, I never would have thought of that, or I didn't realize other people felt the same way, things like that. So it'd be really cool if we could all have a community going on the little page. That's the intention and the plan. But as I said, I do have the email if people do not want to risk having somebody post something on their answer. Almost forgot. You can actually ask me to answer questions too. It's another thing I want to do. You could answer and be like, hey, this is my answer, and could you ask this question to the audience, or can you just answer this question, something like that, and I answer it and be like, hey, so you guys answer it too. So yeah, I think that'd be really fun. So whenever I ask a question, I'm going to give an example of an answer. You can follow the formula that I give for the answer, or you can come up with your own formula. I'm really not that picky. So let's say the question for that week is, what is your favorite food? And I would be like, well, my favorite food is sandwiches because of how much of a variety you have in sandwiches. You can have like a BLT or a grilled cheese or just a regular sandwich, with like lettuce and tomatoes and pickles. Like an MLT, a mutton, lettuce, and tomato, especially when the mutton is nice and lean. It isn't. You could also try and experiment and have, like a macaroni and cheese sandwich. You could debate the fact that is a sandwich just anything that two pieces of bread are surrounding. It's really up in the air. All of that would be my answer. So, after I finish answering, it is your turn to comment your answer. Well, you could say, Hershey's chocolate is my favorite food. I'd be like, well, that's a little bit debatable, because Hershey's chocolate is more like a dessert than actually a food. But I guess dessert could be argued to be a food. So I'll let it slide. And then you'd answer as to why Hershey's chocolate would be your favorite food. You could be like, oh, I like the way it goes like crunch or whatever whenever you take a bite off and just like, boom, pull one of those little rectangles off of it. And like, that cool sound that you hear in like the commercials, like with Kit Kats, it's like, which Kit Kats don't make that loud of a sound, unfortunately. It'd be really cool if they did. But I eat Kit Kats anyways. Have you ever had dark chocolate Kit Kats? Those are really good. You could even say what you do with it. Maybe you like getting Hershey's chocolate bars and waiting for your family to fall asleep. And then you like sticking as many little pieces of the Hershey's that you can into the unexpected stranger's mouth. I started that off with sticking it in your family's mouth and ended it with you on the subway sticking it in a stranger's mouth. Which, if I woke up randomly with Hershey's chocolate in my mouth and I was a complete stranger to whoever was doing it, I'm not sure I would complain. Guess it just kind of depends on the person putting it in my mouth. I don't know. If anybody has ever had Hershey's chocolate be put in their mouth by a stranger on a subway train or just a regular train or anything, please let me know if that is very weird or if you were pleasantly surprised whenever you woke up to chocolate. I didn't really think of anything else to do, so I guess we'll just jump into the next section, which is the question. The very first question Out of the Question is, what is your favorite food? Yes, the sample question was the exact same question. Mine is vegetable soup. Don't know if you can see it. Trying not to spill it. Right there. Why do I love vegetable soup? And is it my favorite food? Well, it's not purest vegetable soup. It does have beef in here. And you could really mix any kind of meat you wanted in here. Need to throw some steak in here one day. Like, awesome. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Another thing that makes me really enjoy it is that my Nana makes it. Hi, Grandma. I love you. Excuse me? She puts corn, beans, lima beans, some other kind of bean, beef, carrots, green beans. There are a lot of beans in this, aren't there? Potatoes. She normally puts potatoes in here, but I don't see any. Maybe she forgot this time. Oh, and the ingredient that makes it just perfect. She puts love into it. I don't know if that's an actual ingredient. I think it's just like probably a lot of butter, but that's what she tells me. So you know what? It's canon accepted. From the reasons just stated, why do I like vegetable soup so much? I don't know. I've always loved healthy food. Apples, bananas, anything like that. And whenever I was shown something that was like a bunch of healthy foods put into one food, I was like, oh, yes! Healthy food! And thus my love for vegetable soup was born. But only my grandmother's vegetable soup. Well, I haven't really had much other vegetable soup. Maybe I would like somebody else's too. If anybody wants to make some vegetable soup and send it over, feel free. Glad to try it. I'll let you know what I think. One of the things that I do, like if soup comes out and it's like, oh my gosh, really hot. And you gotta like spit it back into your bowl because it's just too hot for you to hold in your mouth. And everybody's like, ew, that's disgusting. Why'd you spit it back in the bowl? I'm like, cause it's my spit in my bowl. I'm okay with eating it again. But if you want to avoid that, you can always grab an ice cube. This cup doesn't have any water in it, just in case people think this is my drinking water. No, it just has ice cubes for demonstration purposes. Although I have, and I'm not afraid of grabbing an ice cube out of my drinking water, if that is the case. But I like to stick it in soups, and it works in like hot coffees and stuff too. I don't drink coffee, but it works in anything that's hot. I drink hot chocolate. And you just mix it around until it has completely dissolved. And usually it comes out like the perfect temperature. So not only is this a question show, it's also an advice column. So I think you're just getting a lot of bang for your buck watching this show. Anyways, you just like mix it around and then you get like, So I'm actually just like really hungry right now, which is why I'm making excuses for eating in front of you. Sorry, not sorry. That's my favorite food, vegetable soup. Anyways, that out of the way, what is your favorite food? Please comment down below. Let me know. What is your favorite food? Oh, wait. I almost forgot. Since this is the end of the episode, I would really like your help. Just if you have any suggestions for me on how to make this series better, maybe I need better sound or a better camera. Honestly, I think I will need better sound. I'm not very good at editing it by myself yet, still learning the ropes. So if you're like, well, you really need to fix the sound because it's really bad, then I will definitely work on fixing the sound for the next episode and put most of my efforts there. Or if you're like, oh man, the way you edit the videos is a little choppy or it's a little too loose, then I will work on cutting it down to where it's not so choppy or not so loose. I actually want to get to the point where I can just start talking without needing it to be cut at all. But I'm not there yet. And if you just have any other comments or suggestions, let me know. I'm happy to read all of them. So what this series is based around. What do you think of the desk space? Is it cool? I was trying to put like something that represented every part of me. So like the Portal turret shows video games, the fact that I really love the Portal series. Boss Monster right here, which is a little card building, dungeon building game, because I'm a huge nerd and I like board games and stuff. I have like a book here, a comic book, the Justice comic book by Alex Ross, because he's an amazing painter. And I like comics. And I have, like, Frank Capra's autobiography. I have, like, books right here, Grimm's Fairy Tales, because I really like fairy tales, and Mark Twain, because he's probably my favorite author ever. And then I have actual video games right here, like, Super Mario, Metroid, Prime Trilogy, and then some movies right here. I have Limelight and City Lights, which are Charlie Chaplin's. And then I have Holiday Inn because I really like musicals, and especially Fred Astaire and Bing Crosby, obviously. And I have these guys because I used to want to collect them and like set up like a whole little battle or whatever, just cause. And then I have chess right here because I really like games that require me to think. So chess is one of those. I'm really bad at it. I still like it a lot. There's a piece out of place. There we go. And I have Legos right here because Lego is life. And then I got a little Luke Skywalker action figure because Star Wars is also life. Originally, I'd been trying to figure out what I was going to put in the center right here because it was very empty whenever I was looking at it on the camera. And so I thought, hey, whatever I'm going to talk about, let me try and put something in the center. And whenever I looked through it with the camera, I was like, hey, that actually looks pretty good. Oh, I forgot this little thing right here. I got this at an antique store. It's not antique, but I love it a lot. Like, way more than is normal for a person to love a little clock tower thing. I really like it. That's why I put it up here. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a very nice day. Or somebody who is just really mad, just stick an ice cube in their mouth. They won't know what to do. They might punch you, but at least they'd cool off a little bit. But when what was I going to say? Oh, here we go. Okay, I actually have it this time. So whenever I ask a question, I'm going to give an example. I'm dying.